Here we have Chapter 2, Section 6, Problem number 5. A sample data set with a bell-shaped distribution has mean x bar equals 6 and standard deviation s equals 2. Find the approximate proportion of observations in the data set that lie between these three different ranges. Well, in this section, we're looking at the empirical rule and Chebyshev's rule. That's the focus. So problems are likely about those. So this is a data set with a bell-shaped curve. If we look at the empirical rule, we see it's about a data set having an approximately bell-shaped relative frequency histogram, a bell-shaped distribution. So we know the empirical rule will apply here. So it's also looking at these ranges. And if we look at our average, our mean, x bar at 6, and the standard deviation being given, the empirical rule looks for endpoints with x bar plus or minus s. So that's that same thing. So if we look here, the empirical rule as well is looking at multiples of that. So if I'm over here, I can see, so if we have s, that's going to be 2, 2s, it's going to be 4, and 3s is going to be 6. So it's talking about plus or minus 1, 2, or 3 standard deviations from the mean. So that whole point here again is we're looking at if we have a bell-shaped curve, and we're going to say that we have a mean at 6. So that'll be our 6. We'll go 4, 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So what it's saying is here first, this range here, x bar plus or minus s, if we were for right here, so we have 6 plus or minus 2. Here we have 6 plus or minus 2. So this is our x bar plus or minus s. So 6 plus or minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 8. So that's the range that here. How much of the total is that? The empirical rule tells us that, so approximately 68% of the data lie within that range. So A is going to be 68%. So B, we're looking at the broader range here of, so B is going to be from 2 out to 10. So when we get to that point, we're adding this additional amount to what we're looking at in our data. That's plus or minus 2s, and 2s is going to be plus or minus 4. 6 plus 4 is going to be 10, minus 4 is 2. So this is our x bar plus or minus 2s. So, and according to the empirical rule, 95% of the data lie within there. So the way I drew this curve, my tails are too big. So if I drew the curve more like this, is probably more appropriate looking than my first one. All right, so for the third range we have here in C, for C, we're going from 0 clear out to 12. And as we see, it's just continuing that same direction here, right? X bar plus or minus 3s. So plus or minus 3s, so 6 minus 3 is 0, and plus, sorry, 3s. So 6 minus 6 is 0, 6 plus 6 is 12. So C is going to be the x bar plus or minus 3s. So at C, according to the empirical rule, we have 99.7% of the data covered. So there's problem number 5.